Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. So today we are going to discuss about skeletal systems as scaffolds. So far we discussed about muscle systems as scaffolds. Similarly, we are having skeletal systems for scaffolds. Muscle systems as scaffold, we discussed about 5 different topics there. What are 6 different topics: the introduction, the architecture, the muscle cell, the mechanism, the muscle cells as scaffold, and the bioengineering solutions, and as well as architecture. What else? The artificial muscles. Around 6 topics we discussed. Okay, 5 subtopics and 1 introduction. Similarly, we are having the skeletal system as scaffold. Also, here also we are having around 4 to 5 topics. Okay, so subtopics. So we know if it is asked for 10 marks, all the topics you have to mention and explain what is more important, that you explain. If it is asked for just 5 marks, as individual topics they might ask. So based on that you can frame your answers that I have explained clearly in the model questions videos. The playlist, the separate playlist is there, that is for model questions and this thing, that we can go through that and then we can study. Okay, so the skeletal systems as scaffold, I guess this is the last topic of your biology for engineers, because this module I am taking as the last module. I have completed 1, 2, 4 and 5. This is the third module which I have kept as last. So this particular topic is the last topic, the major topic. Under this we are having 4 to 5 topics. So let's see what exactly the skeletal systems are and how they act as a scaffolds. Okay, first, in order to understand skeletal systems as scaffolds, first we will see what are skeletal systems. Okay, so because most of the students who are from different backgrounds, so maybe they might have not taken biology in their PUC +2, but they have to study these topics. That's why I will be giving a very brief introduction and very brief explanation. If at all for biology students and those who already know all these things and all, you can skip, not a problem. You can skip and you can go further and you can study whatever you want to study. But initially the people who actually doesn't have a background, for them we need to give the background, so that they have to understand what are the skeletal system first, and then we can ask them to study what are scaffolds. So those, if you know the skeletal system, you can skip this video. Next video will come as a different applications or a different next topic that we will go for it. Okay, the skeletal system of the human beings refers to the framework of the bones, joints and connective tissues that provide a structure, support and protection to the body. The skeletal system is, if you remember in your PUC or if or anywhere, even in at least movies and all, the skeleton, what it looks like, that skeleton itself is nothing but your skeletal system. In that skeleton, you might have seen, it looks like it will have bones, right? It will have joints, okay, and then it will have the connective tissues. So usually in that skeleton, that part will be missing, that is connective tissue, where the from the bones to the tissue, the muscle, there will be a connection which we are calling it as tendons. Okay, so that will be there. So what is the function of this skeletal system? They will provide a structural support and as well as the protection to the human body. Okay, so structure, support and as well as protection. For example, for lungs, our ribs are giving the protection, understanding. Similarly for heart. Okay, and similarly goes for all of parts of the body. Every muscle or every organs are covered with some particular extra these things, skeleton, because in order to make that those particular organs are safe. Our brain, we have skull, so that is a very great, what you say, the nature itself it has been evolved so that it was been, or it may be made by the god, whatever it is. So these particular things are very neat and perfect. Even not a single engineer can even think of doing like this. So obviously there has to be someone who designed this. It cannot be just by evolution and all. Okay, that's a different story. to discuss. Okay, let's concentrate on the topic. So skeletal system will give the introduction in this topic. Now the skeletal system of the human beings refers to what? The framework of the bones, joints and connective tissues that provide structure, support and protection to the body. So now the key components of the functions of the skeletal systems are, we are having the, what are the key components of the skeletal system? We know that bones are there, cartilage is there, then ligaments are there, that in between the one bone to the another bone the joint will be there. Now in that, before that joints we are having ligaments, then tendons are there. Tendons are nothing but we are having from muscle to the bone, whatever the structure. Now see, because of the bone movement only our muscles are moving, right? So because of the joints, all these things. But who is connecting muscle to the bone? That is nothing but tendons. Next we are having axial skeleton, and then appendicular skeleton. Let's see what are those. And then joints. Okay, these all things comes under, these are the key components. That means without them this particular skeletal system doesn't exist. ಸೊ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಪ್ಪ ಅಂದರೆ ಸ್ಕೆಲೆಟಲ್ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ಆಸ್ ಅ ಸ್ಕ್ಯಾಫೋಲ್ಡ್ ಇಸ್ ಅ ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಟಾಪಿಕ್. ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಮಗೆ ತುಂಬಾ ಸಬ್ ಟಾಪಿಕ್ಸ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ಕೆಲೆಟಲ್ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ಅಂದರೆ ಏನು ಅಂದರೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಹ್ಯೂಮನ್ ಬಾಡಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಏನೆಲ್ಲ ಫ್ರೇಮ್ವರ್ಕ್ ಇದೆ, ಅದು ಬೋನ್ಸ್ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಜಾಯಿಂಟ್ಸ್ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಅಥವಾ ಕನೆಕ್ಟಿವ್ ಟಿಶ್ಯೂಸ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಕನೆಕ್ಟಿವ್ ಟಿಶ್ಯೂ ಏನಕ್ಕೆ ಕರಿತೀವಿ ಅಂದರೆ ನಮ್ಮದು ಸ್ಕೆಲೆಟಲ್ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ಅಂತ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿರುತ್ತೆ, ಎಲ್ಲ ಬೋನ್ಗಳಿರೋದು, ರಿಬ್ಸ್ಗಳಿರೋದು, ಅದನ್ನು ಮತ್ತು ಸ್ಕಲ್ಲು, ಇವೆಲ್ಲ ಸ್ಕೆಲೆಟಲ್ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ಸಲ್ಲಿ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಬೋನು ಜಾಯಿಂಟ್ಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲ. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಅದರಿಂದ ನಮಗೆ ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಮಸಲ್ಸ್ಗೆ ಕನೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗುವ ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವು ಕನೆಕ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಟಿಶ್ಯೂಸ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ ಅಥವಾ ಟೆಂಡಾನ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಅದು ಸಹ ಅದು ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ಕೆಲೆಟಲ್ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ಸಲ್ಲಿ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಇದು ಏನು ಫಂಕ್ಷನ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದರೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಬಾಡಿಯಲ್ಲಿರುವಂಥ ಕೆಲವೊಂದು ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಆರ್ಗನ್ಸ್ಗಳನ್ನು, ಟಿಶ್ಯೂಸ್ಗಳನ್ನು ಇದು ಪ್ರೊಟೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರಲ್ ಸಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಕೊಡುತ್ತೆ. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರ್ ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಪರ್ಟಿಕ್ಯುಲರ್ ಲಂಗ್ಸ್ಗೆ ನಮಗೆ ಈ ಥರ ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರ್ ಬೇಕು, ರಿಬ್ಸು, ಸೊ ಆ ಥರ ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರ್ ಇದೆ. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಸಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಕೊಡುತ್ತೆ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನಮಗೆ ಇದು ಫುಲ್ ಬಾಡಿಯಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲ ನಮಗೆ ಸಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಇದ್ದರೂ ಅದು ಬೋನಿಂದನೇ ಬಂದಿರುತ್ತೆ. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಪ್ರೊಟೆಕ್ಷನ್, ಆಬ್ವಿಯಸ್ಲಿ ನಮಗೆ ತಲೆಗಾಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ನಮಗೆ ಸ್ಕಲ್ ಇದೆಯಲ್ಲ, ಸೊ ಬುರುಡೆ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಅಥವಾ ನಮ್ಮ ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಅದು ಈಗ ಹೇಳಿದ್ನಲ್ಲ, ಲಂಗ್ಸ್ಗೆ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು ಅಥವಾ ಹಾರ್ಟ್ಗೆ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಎಲ್ಲದಕ್ಕೂ ಪ್ರೊಟೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಕೊಡುವಂತಹ ಒಂದು ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಈ ಮೂರು ಕೆಲಸಗಳು ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್. ಮತ್ತು ಏನಪ್ಪ ಈ ಸ್ಕೆಲೆಟಲ್ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮಲ್ಲಿರುವಂಥ ಮೇಜರ್ ಕಾಂಪೊನೆಂಟ್ಸ್ಗಳು ಏನು ಅಂದರೆ, ಬೋನ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಕಾರ್ಟಿಲೇಜ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಲಿಗಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಟೆಂಡನ್ಸ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಎಕ್ಸಿಯಲ್ ಸ್ಕೆಲೆಟನ್ ಮತ್ತು ಅಪೆಂಡಿಕ್ಯುಲರ್ ಸ್ಕೆಲೆಟನ್ ಮತ್ತು ಜಾಯಿಂಟ್ಸ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ components and functions of the skeletal systems. So what are these all things what we just saw here? We will discuss one by one. So what are bones? Obviously we know that the human body consists of 206 bones that vary in size and shape. It provides a strength and support and protect internal organs and store minerals like calcium and phosphorus. All these things can be done by the bones. That means it provides strength for bone only. Because of bone only we feel we are having some kind of strength, right? And then it will provide support, just now I explained. Then also it will protect internal organs, again I explained the same thing. Apart from these functions, bone can store the minerals which are responsible for our strengthening of the bone, that is calcium and phosphorus. Next we are having cartilage. So cartilage is nothing but a flexible connective tissue. It's a flexible connective tissue that found in certain joints, and if there is a two joints are like this, so if the joints here, this will be covered by the cartilage will be there. So it's a flexible and connective tissue. Okay, so it's a flexible connective tissue which is found in joints. Okay, usually in joints, in this joint, these kind of joints and all is here we can see the cartilage. Okay, and also structures such as ears and nose, you can see this particular kind of structure. No, these are not actually the bone, okay, but they are cartilage, understanding? So it acts as a cushion between the bones. Okay, so here also this kind of structures will be there. It will act as a cushion between the bones. That's why how much ever you run, your bones will not make sounds. That the reason is the cartilage will give you the cushion kind of structure to the bones, reducing the friction and absorbing the shock. So it absorbs the shock whenever you are running, we are applying force, it absorbs the shock. So what is cartilage? If the cartilage is gone, then the person, you will experience a huge pain, you cannot walk properly. Okay, so like that. So next, ligaments are nothing but tough bands of fibrous tissue that connect bones to the other bones, one bone to the another bone. Connection will be there, and as I told you, here only the ligaments will be there, that will act as that connects one bone to another bone like this. Okay, so providing stability and prevent excessive movement, so that you can have a stability and prevent excessive movement. That means we know that the particular, if you are walking, only certain direction this particular movement should be there. If it goes like this and all, you cannot walk properly, right? Now your leg goes down back, so imagine your leg is coming like folding in front like this. That won't be a flexible, and that won't be proper for normal functioning walking of human being, right? So that function is retained by the ligaments. So let's explain in Kannada. So bones ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನಂತ ಗೊತ್ತು, 206 ಬೋನ್ಗಳಿವೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಬಾಡಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಅಂತ ಎಲ್ರಿಗೂ ಗೊತ್ತಿದೆ, ಅಥವಾ ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಶೇಪಲ್ಲಿ ಇದೆ, ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಸೈಜಲ್ಲಿದೆ. ಮತ್ತು ಇದು ಏನಕ್ಕೆ ಇದೆ ಅಂತ ನಾವು ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಪ್ರಿವಿಯಸ್ ಸ್ಲೈಡಲ್ಲಿ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲೇನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ. ಸ್ಟ್ರೆಂತ್, ಸಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಮತ್ತು ಇಂಟರ್ನಲ್ ಆರ್ಗನ್ಸನ್ನು ಪ್ರೊಟೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕಿದೆ. ಮತ್ತು ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಇದರೊಟ್ಟಿಗೆ ಬೋನ್ಸ್ ಏನು ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ, ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಸಿಯಂ ಮತ್ತು ಫಾಸ್ಫರನ್ನು ಅದರೊಳಗೆ ಹಿಡಿದುಕೊಳ್ಳುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಕಾರ್ಟಿಲೇಜ್ ಅಂದರೆ ಏನಪ್ಪ ಅಂದರೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ಬೋನ್ ಜಾಯಿಂಟ್ಸಲ್ಲಿ ಈ ಕಾರ್ಟಿಲೇಜ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಆ ಕಾರ್ಟಿಲೇಜ್ ಏನು ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದರೆ ಒಂದು ಕುಷನ್ ಥರ ಇದು ಕೊಡುತ್ತೆ. ಅದು ಈ ಒಂದು ಬೋನಿಂದ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಬೋನ್ಗೆ ಏನು ಕನೆಕ್ಟ್ ಇರುತ್ತಲ್ಲ, ಸೊ ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಿರುತ್ತೆ ಕುಷನ್ಸ್ ಕೊಡುತ್ತೆ ಅದು. ಸೊ ದ್ಯಾಟ್ ಕುಷನ್ ವೆನೆವರ್ ಯು ಅಪ್ಲೈ ಫೋರ್ಸ್, ವೆನೆವರ್ ಯು ಆರ್ ವಾಕಿಂಗ್, ವೆನೆವರ್ ಯು ಆರ್ ರನ್ನಿಂಗ್, ಸೊ ದ್ಯಾಟ್ ಪ್ರೆಷರ್ ಯು ವಿಲ್ ಗೆಟ್ ನೋ, ಸೊ ದ್ಯಾಟ್ ಯು ವಿಲ್ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಅ ಕಾರ್ಟಿಲೇಜ್. ಕಾರ್ಟಿಲೇಜ್ ಅದನ್ನು ಅಬ್ಸಾರ್ವ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ. ಆ ಅದನ್ನು ಕುಷನ್ ಥರ ಇದು ಕೊಡುತ್ತೆ. ಅಲ್ಲಿರುವಂಥ ಫ್ರಿಕ್ಷನನ್ನು ಅಬ್ಸಾರ್ವ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ, ಇದು ರೆಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ ಮತ್ತು ಅಬ್ಸಾರ್ವ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ. ಈ ಕಾರ್ಟಿಲೇಜ್ ಏನಾದರೂ ಡ್ಯಾಮೇಜ್ ಆದರೆ ನಿಮಗೆ ಪೇಯ್ನ್ ತುಂಬಾ ಪೇಯ್ನ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಯಾಕಂದರೆ ಒಂದು ಬೋನ್ಗೆ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಬೋನ್ ಟಚ್ ಆದಾಗ ನಿಮಗೆ ಫುಲ್ ಬಾಡಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಪೇಯ್ನ್ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಅಥವಾ ಅದು ನೀ ಜಾಯಿಂಟ್ಸಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಆ ಥರ ಎಲ್ಲ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಲಿಗಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಅಂದರೆ ಏನಂದರೆ ಇದು ಟಫ್ ಬ್ಯಾಂಡ್ಸ್ ಫೈಬ್ರಸ್ ಟಿಶ್ಯೂ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಇದೇನು ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ, ಒಂದು ಬೋನನ್ನು ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಬೋನಿಗೆ ಕನೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಮತ್ತು ಅದನ್ನು ಎಷ್ಟು ಬೇಕೋ ಅಷ್ಟು ಮೂಮೆಂಟನ್ನು ಮಾತ್ರ ಅದು ಬಿಡುತ್ತೆ, ಎಕ್ಸೆಸಿವ್ ಮೂಮೆಂಟನ್ನು ಸ್ಟಾಪ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ ಮತ್ತು ಸ್ಟೆಬಿಲಿಟಿ ಕೊಡುತ್ತೆ. ಓಕೆನಾ? ಸೊ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ವಿ ಆರ್ ಹ್ಯಾವಿಂಗ್, ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಹೌ ಇಟ್ ಲುಕ್ಸ್ ಲೈಕ್ the bone. Okay, this is called bone. Then we are having ligaments which will give you the proper this thing, and which will restrict the excessive movement, and then the cartilage which will give you the cushioning in between the bones, and then this is again a bone. Okay, from one bone to another bone, this it will act as this thing. Okay, so next we are having tendons. So tendons are nothing but strong fibrous tissues, again connective tissues. So connective what it does, it connects muscles to the bone. So this is a muscle and this is a bone, right? This is a bone, this is a muscle. Now in order to move, muscle has to function, right? For that, the moment the force is generated by the bone, but it has to move to, that force should move to the muscle, right? So that for bone to muscle connection, that it will act as a bridge between the bone and muscle. That is called, those are called as tendons. So tendons are nothing but a strong fibrous tissue that connects the muscles to the bones, enabling movement by the transmitting the force generated by the muscle. That means ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದೆಯಪ್ಪ ಅಂದರೆ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನಮಗೆ ಬೋನ್ ಇದೆ, ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಜನರೇಟ್ ಆಗಿರೋ ಫೋರ್ಸನ್ನು ನಾವು ಮಸಲ್ಗೆ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಫರ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇವೆ. ಸೊ ಇದು ಟೆಂಡನ್ನು ಮಸಲ್ ಮತ್ತು ಬೋನ್ ನಡುವೆ ಇರುವಂಥ ಒಂದು ಬ್ರಿಡ್ಜ್ ಆಗಿ ಆ್ಯಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಆ್ಯಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಓಕೆನಾ? So next, axial skeleton and appendicular skeleton. So this is exactly it looks like. It's very easy to explain in the diagram. Appendicular skeleton comes under all these things. We are having the hand part and the lower abdomen part. And whatever axial skeleton is there, it's about skull, and we are having this particular part. Okay, so these all things comes under axial skeleton. So axial skeleton is a skeleton that forms the central axis of the body, that includes skull, vertebral column and rib cage. So these all things comes axial. Okay, skull, this thing, all rib skill, all the ribs, and as well as we are having the vertebral column still here. Okay, this is axial skeleton. Next, the skull protects the brain. We know that skull protects the brain, and also this particular the vertebrate column, that is spine, protects it protects the spine here, spinal cord. Okay, and then we are having the rib cage that encloses the heart, lungs and other thoracic organs, okay, like liver and all. Okay, these all things can be covered. So brain, heart and spinal cord. So these things, three things in the axial skeleton protects the major parts of the body. Then speaking about appendicular skeleton. Appendicular skeleton is nothing but its outer part. Okay, it comprises of bones, limbs and shoulder and pelvic girdles and all. Okay, all these things. We will see the upper limbs, that is arms, consist of humerus. Humerus nothing but upper arm. So on this part. Okay, and then we are having the radius and ulna, that is called as forearm bones. So this forearm bones. Next we are having the hand bones. Okay, now the lower limbs, that is legs. Okay, so that like it includes the femur, that is the thigh bone, this bone. Okay, and then the lower leg bones, okay, like the tibia and fibula, what we call, and then the foot bones, these foot bones, all these things. Okay, foot bones. Okay, so now the shoulder and pelvic girdles attach the limbs to the axial skeleton. So from here there will be a linkage to the axial skeleton. So both axial skeleton and appendicular skeletons looks like this. So axial skeleton ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನಮಗೆ ಇದು ಸ್ಕಲ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ, ಮತ್ತೆ ಇದು ನಮಗೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬರುವಂಥ ರಿಬ್ಸ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ, ಮತ್ತೆ ಸ್ಪೈನಲ್ ಕಾರ್ಡ್ ಪ್ರೊಟೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಉಳಿದದ್ದು ಏನಿದೆ ಅದನ್ನು ಅಪೆಂಡಿಕ್ಯುಲರ್ ಸ್ಕೆಲೆಟನ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಇದು ಹ್ಯಾಂಡು ಇಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಪಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಇಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಇಲ್ಲೊಂದು ಪಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಮತ್ತು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕೆಲವೊಂದು ಪಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಮತ್ತು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಪಾರ್ಟ್ ಇದೆ, ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ಗೆ ಒಂದು ಪಾರ್ಟ್ ಇದೆ, ಮತ್ತು ಇದು ಫೀಟ್ಗೆ ಒಂದು ಪಾರ್ಟ್ ಇದೆ. ಅದನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲೇನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೇವೆ. ಓಕೆನಾ? So the skeletal system works in conjunction with the muscles, tendons and ligaments. That means the skeletal system has in order to function its proper function for all our body, so it has to combine with the muscles, with the tendons, where tendons will bridge a gap between the bone to the muscles. So and then ligaments, so the ligaments are plays a very important role. That means it will restrict the excessive movement of the bones. It will join the bones and it will act as a proper placement, okay, to allow for the movement, protect internal organs, support body's weight and provide a structural frame of the body. So ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತಪ್ಪ ಅಂದರೆ ಸ್ಕೆಲೆಟಲ್ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮು ಹೇಗೆ ವರ್ಕ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ ಅದು ಎಲ್ಲ ಈ ಮಸಲ್ಸು, ಟೆಂಡನ್ಸ್, ಲಿಗಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಒಟ್ಟಿಗೆ ಇದ್ದರೆ ಮಾತ್ರ ವರ್ಕ್ ಆಗೋಕ್ಕೆ ಚಾನ್ಸ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಏನೆಲ್ಲ ಫಂಕ್ಷನ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ, ಇದು ಮೂಮೆಂಟ್ಗೆ ಯೂಸ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ನಮ್ಮ ಇಂಟರ್ನಲ್ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ಸ್ಗೆ ಪ್ರೊಟೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ, ಮತ್ತು ಬಾಡಿ ವೇಟ್ಗೆ ಸಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ, ಮತ್ತು ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರಲ್ ಫ್ರೇಮ್ ವರ್ಕ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಬಾಡಿಯನ್ನು ಸಹ ಇದು ಮೇಂಟೈನ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ದ್ಯಾಟ್ಸ್ ಇಟ್. ದ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಟಾಪಿಕ್ ವಿ ಆರ್ ಹ್ಯಾವಿಂಗ್ skeleton system as scaffold, that we will discuss in the next class.